Recently, this hit the headlines in Malaysia. Someone spotted Ko Liping, an ex-Paralympian who won 7 gold medals for Malaysia, selling tissue cover on the streets of Bukit Bintang just to keep a life sustainable. How did a national athlete who made Malaysia proud, represented Malaysia, won multiple medals, ended up on the street? This video is sponsored by Skillshare. It's an online learning community with thousands of classes that you can learn from. If you are thinking of starting a freelance business and make some extra money, you can check out this video, The Freelancing Guide, The Secret to Strong Client Relationship. This will give you some useful guide on how you can build a successful side hustle to make more money. So, if you like to improve your value and you like to support our channel, check them out in the link below. The first 1,000 of our subscribers who use my link will get a 1-month free trial to Skillshare Premium. While selling tissue is an honest living and there's nothing to be ashamed about, we can't help but to wonder, what is our government doing for the welfare of our athletes in general? Are they just left alone to fend for themselves? I did some quick research and I found another article that surfaced in 2018. According to the report, an ex-national footballer was spotted living on the streets. It was said that his heart condition, for which he is seeking treatment at our National Heart Institute (IJN), it's making it difficult for him to hold down a job. So because of that, he can't afford an accommodation in Kuala Lumpur. When questioned about this, Yayasan Kebajikan Atlet Kebangsaan and also Football Association Malaysia said that they are not aware that he needed further help and they have been trying to search for him, just that they could not find him. Hello, maybe you can try IJN, right? Since he's receiving medical treatment there. Not just that, on 2016, Malay Mail disclosed a heartbreaking story of 2-time Paralympic game bronze medalist Mariapan, who's now staying in the place where he says walkways are wet, dimly littered and reek of urine, while he himself struggled to make a living. I feel used. I was discarded after having served the country for so long. That's very sad to hear, right? Nonetheless, good news actually came. Announcement was made that all Malaysian Paralympic medal winners, past, present, will receive a monthly pension from October 2016. And under the scheme, gold medalists will receive a lifelong pension of 5,000 per month, silver medalists 3,000 a month, and bronze medalists, they will get 2,000 a month. But I wonder if it's still the same right now, because recently there's a huge budget cut, and because of that our National Sports Council decided to axe 144 national athletes. According to the minister, they say that they're not being cruel, but they're just trying to be prudent. However, according to the statement of one of our athletes, it definitely feels like I've been used and been tossed away. I've given up so much for the country and made so many sacrifices throughout the years, and it's just really frustrating the way NSC has done things, as they didn't even have the decency to sit down and have a discussion with me about it. Damn, there's no discussion? Does it mean that these athletes actually just found out that they got fired the moment we hear about it as well? If that's how they found out they got fired, I'm sure that anyone would feel used and tossed away too. Remember that CEO who fired his employees through Zoom?
Employment here is terminated effective immediately.
Anyway, in response to this, Datuk Stephen Sim, an opposition MP, said it would be better to remove 10 ministers and 10 deputy ministers to solve the lack of funding issue. Muar MP, Syed Saddiq, posted on his social media account revealing how much a minister can actually earn in a month, which was a lot of money. The salary of a minister is 13,400 ringgit, while deputy minister will get 10,847 ringgit per month. This is just the base salary. There's also a long list of allowance that they are entitled to. Entertainment allowance of 12,000 ringgit a month. What are they going to spend on 12,000 ringgit a month for entertainment? Then there's a 4,000 ringgit a month cabinet minister's allowance, 4,000 ringgit housing allowance a month, and then another 2,500 ringgit domestic helper allowance a month, 2,500 ringgit for driver allowance. So all these allowances that we mentioned add up to another 25,000 ringgit. So in total, a minister will get 13,400 plus another 25,000 a month of allowance. That adds up to 38,400. Apparently, there are more allowances, so means that the number can be higher. Now, let's not also forget that many of our ministers are also MPs, which entitle them to another set of salary and allowances. Member of Parliaments get a salary and allowance of 16,000 ringgit. They also get 400 per day attendance for parliamentary sitting. I don't understand why an MP need to get 400 ringgit for parliamentary sitting. I thought that's his job, right? To go to parliament. Then there's 300 ringgit per day attendance for government agency meeting or workshop. Another 2,500 ringgit per month for entertainment allowance. Wow, looks like they really know how to entertain themselves, huh? Another 1,500 ringgit a month for special payment. Another 1,500 a month for fixed travel allowance. Another 1,500 for fuel allowance. Then another 300 ringgit a month for toll allowance. And then another 1,500 per month for driver allowance. So if a person holds the position as an MP and minister, their income will range anywhere in between 55,000 ringgit a month to more than 100,000 ringgit a month. That is a whole lot of money, man. No wonder people want to climb up the political ranks and then become a minister lah. If we were to follow Dato' Steven Sim's suggestion, how much will we save? Assuming each of these ministers were to earn around 55,000 a month, then 55,000 times 20, that means that every month we can save 1.1 million ringgit. So after a year, we save around 13.2 million ringgit. Wow! Wait. If we take this 13.2 million ringgit, distribute it to 144 national athletes as an allowance, each can easily get 7,600 ringgit and above way. Instant problem solver, right? Well, having said that, while on one hand we have government ministers who get paid such a fat paycheck, on the other hand, we have many of our government servants who have a starting pay of only 1,200 ringgit a month. Even just after adding their allowance, many of them just earn slightly above 2,000 ringgit. I really don't know how they survive, especially those living in KL. Now, actually, certain organizations has been calling the government to increase the minimum salary for government servant to 1,800 ringgit a month, which is just 600 ringgit extra a month. But many say that government has no money and now they need to focus on COVID recovery, so not enough budget lah.
Problem solved.
Okay lah. Now all this talk only. At the end of the day, it may not be possible for us to fire any incompetent minister, right? Or maybe a more simple solution: don't spend 38.5 million to renovate the Sri Perdana complex lah. That one can save a lot of money, then no need fire minister lah. You know sometimes when I read news, right, I find it really very funny. It's like reading jokes like that lah. Anyway, if you're wondering where do I consume my news, I signed up to this service called the coffeebreak.co. It's actually a free newsletter that aims to make people stay informed with both local Malaysian news and global news. The best part is, it is written in such concise manner that it only takes 3 minutes a day to read a whole day's worth of news. So if you want to stay updated with news but you have no time to read long articles, just go and check them out and sign up for their daily newsletter. Anyway, at the end of the day, I was probably just ranting. We probably can't fire any ministers as we have mentioned, nor can we stop anything from happening like renovation or whatnot. But as a Malaysian, there has to be something that we can do, right? And that is what I want to talk about here. When we look at the case of our athletes, now I'm not surprised that many athletes actually struggle once they retire from sports. Imagine you spend almost all your life to get good at the one sport, and then once you retire, what skills do you have that will be relevant to the workforce? Now this problem is not just exclusive to athletes, but think about it, recently it happened in the tourism sector as well. People in the tourism sector, they were doing very well, and then suddenly COVID came and many were forced out of their job. Those who only know how to operate in the tourism sector find it hard to get another job as well. That is why I think it is very important that we should have some sort of structured re-education in place for our national athletes or even our adults. Upskilling. So for athletes, when they retire, they can actually adapt their skill set into the workforce or even maybe running their own business. For our national athletes, I also think the government can do more to help them get employed, such as working for government itself. Actually, in our government got so many departments, right? I'm sure there could be some sort of position that's suitable for them. I mean, I'm not talking about some director position. I think maybe just a senior administrative kind of role with a pay that's equivalent to their allowance. Maybe that's also good enough, right? On the other hand, maybe our government should also work with private corporations to create employment programs for national athletes. Maybe giving tax incentive or cash incentive for companies who are willing to employ and develop retired national athletes. I'm sure there will be companies who are interested in getting them on board, right? However, over the years of living in Malaysia, most of us have learned one something. Don't wait for government to give you something. If you want something, work for it yourself. Now, whoever you are, whether you're a national athlete that got axed, or maybe you're just someone who's thinking about changing industry, find some opportunities to re-educate yourself. That is why I'm a strong believer of websites like Skillshare, where you can learn many useful skills that is relevant to today's industry. And this kind of skill can help you easily get a job or even start your own business. Today's skills like social media management, video editing, and web development are jobs that are easily available in the market. And the best part is this, all these skills, you can easily learn it on a simple website like Skillshare. You probably don't even need to go to university or something like that. Recently, I came to learn about a story of a diving instructor who's in his 40s. He lost his income due to the pandemic. He signed up for a free scholarship program in 42KL, and now he's on his way to become a computer programmer. Yes, that's a change of industry in his 40s. If he can do it, I believe many of us can. Yes, it's not easy to change. It's not easy to learn something new, but if you're willing to, the door is just there. The opportunities are just there. So my fellow Malaysians, whether you're an athlete or not, find a way to equip yourself with higher value skills. Things that allow you not just to make a living, but thrive in this changing world. And with these skills, you will be able to pursue many opportunities, and even opportunities that are beyond Malaysia. And lastly, it's never too late. Don't think that you're much older now and it's harder to change, or you can't compete with younger kids. That is not true, because the truth is, you may actually have more to offer if you are willing to change.